Solve for x in the following triangle. So what I'm going to do is the side I'm trying to find, I'm going to call that A. Then big A is the angle opposite that. And then if I call this B, this one is B. And then I'm going to use the table I talked about in the introduction to this section. So I know the angle A. I also know the angle B. And of course, because we know the angle sum is 180, we can always work out C if we actually need it. So what about the side A? Well, that's x, so we don't know that one, but we do know B, which is 10, and that means we know a complete row of this table, and that tells us that we can use the sine rule, and the sine rule is what we should be using. So write down A over sine A is equal to B over sine B. We don't need the other bit, C is sine C. Then substitute in what we know. Well, this one is x. Then we have sine of 32 degrees. And then B is 10. And big B is 52. And then you can solve that on your calculator or use the activity. So what do each of those look like? Action, advanced, solve. We know we're going to need a fraction equal to another fraction. And this one would be x over sine 32. And this one would be 10 over sine 52. We're working in degrees. Always just make sure your calculator's in degrees, especially if you've lent it to somebody else. So always make sure it's in degrees before we do this. And then we'll execute. And it gives us 6.72. And that would be in centimeters to 2 decimal places. So let's look at the activity. So if I go menu, e-activity, we can see the sine rule is here. The A is the one we were trying to find. We know that big A was 32, B, small b was 10, and big B was 52. And then hit solve, and we get 6.72.